Greetings everyone, I am Sister Lilia and welcome to my armory. So today I am taking a look at SKYQUAKE. So this large lunk of plastic set me back, how much was it? Nearly as much as a Land Raider for my Warhammer viewers. That's the Australian price for the Land Raider too. So yeah, he wasn't cheap and I'm glad I paid him off over time, but is the figure any good? Well, as far as the alt mode's concerned, it's a decent enough alt mode. I've seen worse looking Transformer Jet modes, and at least the whole robot mode isn't entirely obvious underneath. I mean, it's still relatively obvious, but at least from the front, it, looks kinda like a jet. Now the lights are blurring the box a bit. I'm sorry. It makes the figure readable or visible on camera. So, accessories-wise, this figure comes with two. It comes with a big honking machine gun, or big honking Gatling gun, or chain gun maybe, and a sword that looks like a missile. As for the box, he comes in there in the kind of nice cardboard, in a decent cardboard box, with some gorgeous card art on the side. We see the legacy art for that line. We see Eurofusion! Needle Nose and him. I don't know who Needle Nose is because I don't give a damn about G2. Sorry, G2, my few G2 fans. We see the top, which has his stats on there. We see the bottom, various things and so on. We see the side, plastic-free packaging, except tape and glue, and various translations of that. On that side, various texts. Prime Universe SKYQUAKE. So, SKYQUAKE didn't really have much of a presence in Transformers Prime. He got one episode where he was alive, and another episode where Starscream, being jealous of Megatron having risen a zombie army, decided to try and resurrect him. Starscream, not being Megatron and not being quite as strong-willed, didn't exactly succeed in his attempt to get the Dark Energon to actually behave for him. So, yeah, we didn't get to see him much. Also, as far as packaging is concerned, the inside is pretty bland. That's fine. It's a cardboard box. It doesn't need to be terribly amazing. The thing that you should care about is the figure. And on that subject, for the most part, the figure is decent. This bit here, however, does not like staying in. That one just comes off on a touch. This one stays in. Now, that's probably an issue on my part, because I suspect I did something wrong. Now, as far as movement on the back, the feet, by virtue of them being part of the feet, the back jet engines kind of go up and down. The wing flaps on the ends of the wings can go up and down the center. Wing flap bits can move around. Not really sure how that should go, but yeah. There's a tri-engine jet with some translucent plastic in places. The secondary cockpit is just weird. I'm sure it's a callback to G2, but it's just weird. And yeah, this figure is kind of wacky in his back. Like, I'll bring it up again later, but the way his back works kind of gives me Cybertron Jetfire vibes. Now, I wish I had a figure of that, but money. I don't have lots of it, and I didn't have a lot of it back when I was that age. Something like 4 Transformers a year was kind of my thing, or no, a bit more than that, but yeah. So, transforming it wise, when done like this, he kind of looks like Prime Megatron. at this stage, which is kind of wacky. At least his head isn't sticking out like it does with Prime Megatron. I'm just going to flip that around like that. Now, I may well botch up this transformation, because I suspect there are times where I've just got the transformation wrong now and then. But these things happen. So let's just bring that up to here. No, I'm doing that wrong because that folds into there. So you can see where the arms are. At least the shoulder ratchets aren't very stiff, but now these shoulders are annoying when in robot mode, and I'll explain that more later. But you can seeing how that moves really is a hint of what is to come. Now that splits up and splits and goes around, struggling past part of the torso. You can kind of see where things are going from here. Now, the nose of the jet I probably should have done earlier. Just going to now there's a mechanism there that I'm not doing right, I think. Perhaps I'm doing it perfectly right. But yeah, so that didn't look right because it turned. Well, it clicked into place at least, so that's better than nothing. Now, hopefully that wasn't all off camera, but yeah, so that flips around and reconnects back there. It may not actually be meant to, but I prefer how it looks, so yeah, grab those and flip them, or just flip it out a bit and bring it around. So pauldrons go up, torso, that's why I needed to extend that out a bit. It's been a while since I last looked at his instructions, but because those are supposed to snib in. Somehow I'm just completely botching this. Come on, behave. It's like, behave, SKYQUAKE, Miss Prime. Well, he's not actually a prime, but the total of prime gets passed around enough times within Transformers. Heck, Optimus nearly has made many a different character practically be a prime. So that needs to fold down and lock onto there. That folds over to there. Hand comes out. That comes down and locks onto the hand. Arm comes up, shoulder, pauldron goes there. I am not reattaching that piece, it's annoying. I'll reattach it for final beauty shots, but yeah, so that, if I can get him to properly stand up, the surface I'm putting him on behaves weirdly, so that is him in robot mode. Unless I've messed something up somewhere along the line. His two accessories, the Gatling gun is better. I mean, I don't remember him actually using the other weapon. Now, as I mentioned before, the shoulders do not lock in. And also, that wants to just not stay tabbed in because I've done something wrong. Yeah, at least it does allow you to kind of adjust things a bit. And the hands are adjustable in their position. The wrist, the shoulder pivot there is a bit tight. So yeah, arms can move around all the way like that. Wrists can do their whole swivel thing. I mean, that looks painful, but yeah. The pauldrons can be adjusted to the pose. The head can slide forward or slide back. Legs, depending on if you botch up the transformation like I have or not. Like, that is a very uncomfortable looking pose, but let's just grab the Gatling and adjust that to be aimed like that. So the main cool thing about this figure is the Gatling gun, let's be honest. The other piddly little sword is nowhere near as cool, but because it's a cannon, they didn't want to have it on the promotional art, I suspect. So the shoulders behaving the way they do means you end up with a bit more range of posing. So yeah, in robot mode, here's how he compares to some other figures. Okay, so in terms of scale, here's how he scales with, if I remember correctly, Voyager class bulkhead. So standing him up proper. Autobot scum. And deluxe knockout. Now knockout is a bit small, and in knockout's own video I kind of highlighted how tiny he is compared to some yesteryear deluxe figures, especially ones from when I was a kid. And here's how he also compares to Legacy Armada Starscream, who I think is the best figure in Legacy prior to the this year's two Armada leader classes, but only one of those is actually really good, might be really good, and I haven't got Prime yet, so I can't really share my thoughts on him. I can share my thoughts on Armada Megatron, but that's its own video. So, and here he is compared to a Voyager that came in a 2-pack with Vector Prime back in like 2005. It's still shorter, but like it was a 2-pack, so it was actually under Voyager size, because Starscream did get another figure, but this Starscream did get another figure, but it was a lot more expensive because it was bigger than leader class, based off a whole silliness that happened with Starscream. So yeah, this figure is nice, but I'm not sure it was worth the price tag. Like, I realise everything has gone up these days, but like the issues I've had with it, namely the shoulders not having really anywhere to lock into that I can see. Like, look at the kind of, there is nowhere for that to properly lock into and tab into. Now that could be user error on my part, but I don't think it is. Like I'll just, at least with this figure, you can at least stick the cannon on his back, which yay for weapon storage, because he's got the 2 hex pins. Now you grab the little fingernail part here, pull that out, and it's intended to only go in one hand by virtue of the little tab snibs, which have it only go into one hand. And I went to put it into the wrong one. Typical me. Oh well. So let's just shove that through. Like, they didn't need to do that. They could have had it go onto either one. Now, the reason for the sword really is because it was always obvious that they were planning on doing a repaint of this character as Dreadwing, SKYQUAKE's brother, who actually got character development beyond being a zombie, and who met a rather unceremonious end in Prime. Seriously, he deserved better. But then a number of characters in Prime deserved better, given how little storytelling they got. It really doesn't want to stay up on this smooth surface, does it? So we have the sword jets. Murder Starscream and your wing sword. Or one could even call it a wing saber. Mind you, wing saber ended up going from being... I'm not sure if there actually was a wing saber. I know there was a star saber in old Japanese Transformers series, but I'm not sure if there was a wing saber prior to Energon. Kind of a shame that wing saber's been kind of left at the wayside. Also, I look at how sodding expensive he is on eBay. I'd love to have him, but no, I'm not paying that much. Anyway, I'll transform them all back into vehicle mode and do a comparison. And so now I have him in vehicle mode, or alt mode. And it's a decent, as I'm pretty sure I said earlier, it's a decent alt mode. That can attach in and sort of form a stand underneath it. Unfortunately, it's very obviously something folded up from underneath. From the top, it looks great, but like, it's pretty universal. I mean, that's probably not the best example. Macross / Jetfire or Skyfire. Geez, a legal battle Hasbro had with that character. In terms of scale, here's how he compares to his Prime Legacy mates, or foe and co-worker. Never truly was on board with the Decepticons, it seemed. I think he just joined them because it was his best option. In terms of scaling with Starscream, now, not the Starscream who he'd want to probably shoot it. Not the Starscream who would want to shoot, because Armada Starscream wasn't a backstabbing, self-entitled arsehole. Let's be honest, that's being kind of kind to Prime Starscream. He was so egotistical. You have with Cybertron 2-pack Starscream, or I feel like he should be called something else because of the colours, like Sunfire? Sunstreaker? No, I think that's an Autobot. And makes him sound like a perv. Let's put him with Jetfire. And just kind of show the sizing. So yeah, in vehicle mode, he very much fits that kind of $50-ish price point, or if it's that kind of what used to be about $50 worth of jet. This is what $50 worth of jet looks like these days. I'm kind of saddened by that. Especially when this thing was 100 or something. Oh, I don't like shrinkflation. It's hitting everything from chocolate bars to toys, and I'm surprised it hasn't hit it with Warhammer. But then GW have just gone, we're raising the prices. And no, I'm not going to show him with a Valkyrie because I haven't got it even remotely done. So, but if you want to see me compare it to a Warhammer Valkyrie, leave a comment saying as much, or leave a like. So, with exception to RC, who is somewhere, but yeah, since I don't currently know the whereabouts of Legacy RC, I'm going to have to make do with these two other Prime characters. These two are how you do Legacy versions of Prime characters. Bulkhead's underwhelming. He feels like he was potentially meant to be Hound or Prime. Hound from the Bayverse films, or an easy retool for Prime. Like, admittedly, Optimus Prime's transformations are usually pretty simple. Sometimes to his detriment, but yeah. Would I say to get this figure? Get Dreadwing when it comes out. It will look better. Like this mold, I've seen what Dreadwing looks like. It looks so much better in blue. Like just this, but like in blue. Maybe it's because there was a lot more characterization and character time with Prime Dreadwing as opposed to SKYQUAKE here, but yeah. Also, the gigantic seam that I can't get to close up properly is kind of frustrating. Now, there may be something I've done wrong that's caused that, but yeah. So, but yeah, it's a shame that this piece just does not want to stay in. I am probably just going to glue it in there after this video because I want it to stay. Anyway, let's just shove that back in there. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Here's a little teaser of my next Figure Fridays review video. You have something of mine. Hand it over immediately or suffer the consequences.